My favorite thing to be is skinny. And I fear you cannot say that out loud, but it is my favorite thing to be, and it is my favorite fear to not be.
You have to be willing to take up space. You have to be willing to walk with your head high, because society will make you think that you have to have your head low and you have to look down because you are not worthy of love. You are not worthy of money. You are not worthy of status. You are not worthy of powerful positions. You are not worthy to be a part of the table or a part of the conversation because you are a couple sizes bigger than the next person. Hello, welcome back. Welcome here if you are new. I am Daquana White. I usually bring you plus size fashion content as well as lifestyle and beauty content. Now, that is my intro for my main page. I don't know if this video is going to be over on my podcast or if it's going to be on my main channel. Either way, either welcome to my main channel or welcome to the Delicate Dynamic. Okay. Sorry for all of this going on, but I'm just like comfy in the house in the book closet and I'm chilling. I would have put like a sweater or a jacket on, but once I close this like closet door, it gets toasty. So yeah, we chilling. You know, it ain't nothing y'all ain't never seen before. It ain't nothing too crazy. Now, this is going to be a very, very chill video, like very relaxed. Got my water and got my gushers. I really was craving these gushers, but as I scan in some new books over into my Bookly app, I wanted to just talk about, I guess, a topic that went viral-ish like last week. Today is December 3rd, so I want to say it was like a week before Thanksgiving where this went viral. So a young lady, I'm just kind of looking around seeing which way I want to go first with these books, but a young lady got on TikTok, and what's crazy is I liked her video earlier. Okay, let me stop fiddling with this. I liked her video earlier this year where she was just talking about the kind of like just the amazing wonderfulness, everything amazing about Black women and how much we have to go through and, you know, in order to get recognized, and just like how a lot of us are very educated. We are just, it was just like a video praising Black women, right? And I reposted it actually earlier this year, and my best friend brought it to my attention. She was like, "Oh yeah, that's the girl that you reposted, right?" I was like, hold on now, because soon as people get into controversy, you forget all the good things that they've ever said. So before I get into any of these books, let me eat my gushers. She went on to say, and let me preface this by saying she did say it was a joke. I don't know if it was rage bait or if it was just like, I don't know, if it was just something for controversy. I don't know what it was. But in the video that kind of ruffled a lot of feathers, she had said, if I want to, because I don't really like posting other people's content, especially if it's controversial. Now, if we're sharing a story about, you know, something like a missing person, a crime, or trying to get justice, I don't mind sharing content. But if we are just talking about controversy, I mean, people already put themselves in that light, and I don't want to put them in that light. Okay. So unprofessional of me, but this is a chill video. So, in the video, she said how she loved being skinny. She thinks about being skinny all day long. Being skinny is, in a sense, a character trait. And it just took off. Like, the video was very, very short. when I saw that video, well, actually, I didn't see the video. I saw everybody talking about the video. I hadn't come across it yet. I didn't really think much of it because for me, I'm plus size. And for me, although people might see it as like a quote unquote character trait, I don't see it as a character trait. In a sense, it's a lifestyle. Um it's many stages of plus size. I'm the largest I've ever been. I maybe lost a couple pounds because I have been working out for the past couple of weeks, but I don't see it as, in a sense, something that I be like, I just want to think about it all day. It's a character trait. No. If anything, when I say it's a lifestyle, I don't have to present a certain way, but I have to be prepared for stares if I don't present a certain way, right? If I don't present a certain way, right? I have to deal with PCOS, and my PCOS symptoms got worse as I gained more weight. I have to deal with the fact that it is harder to even lose excess weight. If I wanted to get back to my comfortable size, it's harder to do that with PCOS. I have to, it's a myth out there that plus size women smell, or plus size people smell. And so for me, I have to be hyper vigilant. I want to be hyper vigilant about things like that. I have crafted a great plus size hygiene routine in order to avoid things like that. There is just certain things, I have to mentally prepare for traveling. I only been on a plane one time. One of the things was like, are we about to be on Why Did I Get Married? I don't know if it was one or two. I think it was one. It was one where y'all about to say, girl, get off the plane because you ain't buy an extra seat. Like, it's just stuff like that where it's kind of embedded in your mind. Just the type of car you're driving. Are you going to feel like you're a stuffed chicken or turkey in a car? Are you going to be out of breath when you walk down the street or walk up a flight of stairs? Just so many different things. And it's so when I say it's a lifestyle, it's like I think about those things subconsciously, but I don't make it a character trait. Some people do go by BBW, the fat goddess, the BBW empress. Like, people do take that on as a character trait. And for me, I just simply don't care for it because I feel like I can post a regular picture and be fetishized. It's not my thing. I don't prefer to be fetishized in that way. Do I like having meat on my bones? Yes. Do I rave about it? Like, I love being thick. I could never, ever, ever see myself being skinny. Oh my God. I would never want to be a twig, cinnamon stick, branch, toothpick. Like, no, I wouldn't. And she didn't say all of that in her video. However, I do feel like and people were debating on whether or not it was fat phobic. I can sit here as a plus size woman on TikTok, on any social media platform, and go anywhere, eat anything, whether it's a salad, a Snickers, a full pizza, whatever I'm eating, I'm going to be looked at as, you need to put the fork down. I'm sitting here eating a little bag of Gushers, right? I got my bottle of water. People will say, you don't deserve to indulge in a sweet treat because you're fat. I can get on TikTok and eat a salad and people are going to say it's too much salad. So we're not given the same respect as smaller people. And it's just as simple as that. Again, it was a great debate whether or not her video was fat phobic or not. While I feel like it can go both ways, because I don't feel like personally her video, and if you follow Alexis, or I think her name on TikTok is Lex Talks Too Much or Talk Too Much, she kind of said the same thing. Like, I don't feel like her video per se affected me, simply because I'm comfortable in my skin. I have been comfortable in my skin at every weight. Now, have I noticed, hey, this is your largest weight, and Have I felt like, I want to get back to a weight where I'm comfortable? Yes. But if I would have seen her video just off bat, I probably would have just scrolled and kept it moving. Like, I probably would have peeped at the comments, but I probably would have just kept it moving because I don't feel like her video triggered me per se. I do feel like if you were triggered, that you may have some work that you may have to do, some healing that you may have to do, some, subconscious way of thinking that you may have to change, because in no way, shape, or form will another woman loving herself in her state, her body, affect me. So I think that's where we kind of need to be with that. I wasn't offended by her video. Do I feel like her video could have created, unsafe space for fat women? Yes. And I don't feel like fat women should have been there. I don't feel like fat women should have been there because it wasn't a safe space for us at all. It took me so long to add that book. I do feel like in those comments, you probably did find a few, if not multiple, more than a few people being fat phobic, more than just saying, yeah, I love being, no, you're not just saying you love being skinny. You're also saying I would probably take a pow to my head if I gained 2 pounds. Oh yes, this is why I only eat celery and carrots 2 times a day, because I could never imagine being fat, floppy, and every, just horrible thing they could think of, right? So I just feel like you did not create a safe space for fat women. Is it your job to? No, it's not. But I do feel like if a fat woman got up here and did the same thing and said, you know what, I love being fat. Being fat is my personality. Being fat is something I think about every day, all day, and I couldn't imagine it any other way. The comments will look very different. And people were eating her up in her comments a little bit. Plus size women did come and say, and even skinny women, and just was like, girl, this is not it. Delete this. But I just feel like fat women would have had a way different outcome. A lot of people would have been in there like, you're going to die tomorrow. You probably have diabetes. You probably have high blood pressure. The cellulite is disgusting. Look at your belly. Look at your rolls. You can't even breathe. Like, there would have been so much hate. So much hate. So, again, it's okay. It's okay to do whatever we want on our platforms. At the end of the day, either you're going to delete all the feedback you don't like, or you're just going to let it be there for controversy. Let it be there for clicks and views. Let it be there for engagement. It's the end of the month. Might have to make a check over on TikTok. Like, I don't know why people do the things they do. I don't know why people stir up the controversy that they do. I don't have the same sarcasm or, I guess, satire as those people do. I think if you are a genuine person, you can build your platform up off of just being you, and you don't have to stir up controversy. There was also conversations that kind of turned into, I guess, the skinny privilege, pretty privilege. And skinny is not synonymous with pretty, and fat is not synonymous with ugly. Let's go ahead and get that straight. But people do feel like there are more privileges of being smaller. There are a lot of people who feel like you get treated better. You, have more access to men, women, clothing, I guess I'll say relationships and love, friends, friend groups, clothing. And I'm the type of person where I feel like if I couldn't have this same access, and outside of the clothing, because fat phobia is so ingrained in society, but as far as people, if I have to be a certain size to be in your friend group and have access to you, I'm not interested because you are shallow. If I have to be a certain size in order to gain recognition or love from a man or a woman, I'm not interested. You are shallow. And I will never just lose weight to fit into certain clothes or to, a matter of fact, certain, like a size 2, size 4, size whatever. But if I had, like yesterday, I put on a pair of jeans that I couldn't fit for like a month, and I could fit them. I was really excited. And that was on my list, I guess my weight loss goals or just goals in general. I want to be able to wear certain things comfortably. Like I want to wear a backless dress with the whole back out. I want a tramp stamp and it's going to look sexy. I want it to fit into those jeans. That was literally the last thing I put on that list. I want to do indoor rock climbing. So it's certain things. I want endurance and strength. I want to be able to hike reasonably. I just want those things. So when I say I'm not going to lose a drastic amount of weight, like 2, 3, 4, well, can't lose 400 pounds, but 200 pounds in order to fit into a small, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to search for what there is for me. And if there isn't anything out there for me, I'm going to create it, because I firmly believe in that. You take up the space that you desire and not the space that people give you. Like, no. So with all of that being said, I just felt like the whole conversation was just like, it was interesting to see the perspectives. Again, people did shift the conversation to, oh, you can't feel this way because you went and did this. And not per se to me, but people I follow, right? So like kind of segueing into that conversation of weight loss and weight loss surgery, doing it naturally, whatever the case may be. I think that's just a whole nother conversation within itself. Like, again, I don't understand why we care so much about how other people attain the body, the lifestyle, the whatever that they want. I have never, ever been that interested. I love people. There are social media influencers, content creators, podcasters, celebrities that I love. Follow their journeys, follow their lives, watch their vlogs, whatever the case is, and support them. But you might look at people and say, did you get this done? Or, how did you do this? How did you do that? But I'm never going to sit back and be like judgmental because you did it a certain way. I'm not going to be judgmental because you love yourself more at this size than you did before. That's just not my thing. So I think we all kind of just need to sit back and question why other people's thoughts affect you. And I do feel like, if a lot of people think a certain way about certain things, that can affect us as a whole, as a society. That is true. And I will not deny that. That is why fat phobia is so ingrained in this society, as I mentioned. And I will keep saying that. People feel like the smaller you are, but a certain type, just give or take. We watch society move into different spaces over the years. When Drake said he liked his women BBW, all the fat girls were happy. Not knowing that Drake wasn't referring to the real BBWs, right? When BBLs took off, that was a whole wave. And just until the Ozempic wave is now taking off. The semaglutides, the GLP-1, I don't even know. It's just so many out there where people are just like kind of shoving it down your throat. And it's just like, I guess that's low-key how people could have felt when I was promoting like detox teas and stuff. Did I stand by the product? Yes. And I said that before. Like, I'm not against something for health or wellness. I feel like that's very transparent, And people talk about their BBL journeys, and people talk about the reverse BBL, and people talk about lipo and tummy tucks and this, that, and the third. So I guess semaglutide and things like that, it's fine. Like, it's transparent. This is what I'm doing to get here. It just regulates, I guess, insulin levels. I don't really know. I haven't looked into it like that. But just look at how society kind of jumps on different waves. Not saying everybody who's doing this is jumping on a wave. However, it was cool to be slim thick. It was cool to be BBW at one point. It was cool. You were seen as being privileged and having money and access and food in excess when you were big, let's say back in the day, then it was skinny has always been in. People always say that skinny has always been in, and skinny will never go out. And as we see, the BBLs are getting smaller. They're talking about skinny BBLs now. They're talking about removing the BBLs now. People are talking about, hey, I went and got this BBL at 19, and I wish I would have just waited till I was 25, 26, because now I'm getting grown woman weight on top of my BBL. And then you're seeing how Ozempic is becoming more accessible. And that has been a talking point. And I love listening to just different viewpoints on different things. And a young lady said, what's going to be next? What's the next big thing with people's bodies? Will it be muscles? Will it be super toned bodybuilder type? Like, what will it be? We've seen the thick. We've seen the slim thick. We've seen the BBLs. We've seen the fat. We've seen a lot of things. And now you see how Ozempic and semaglutide and all of these things are starting to take off, and people are dropping the weight with that. And thin is coming back in, but again, thin never really left. So what's next? What's the next big trend? Is it going to be something with the face? Is it going to be, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to watch. A lot of people are assuming it will be like toned and muscular, super fit. And the things that they said kind of contributed to that, like if you were fat, you were seen as having excess money, food, etc. If you were thin, you started to be seen as having discipline or having access to organic meals, personal trainers, leisure time to be able to work out or swim and tan by the beach, whatever. If you were able to get a BBL, it's because you had the money to do so. You see how soon as it became accessible for a lot of people to go get BBLs, nobody cared, right? But you have to think about, I'm not even going to go there to that point. Maybe we'll talk about it in a future video. But once BBLs became accessible for not just celebrities, the celebrities who went and got their bodies done and came back and acted like they worked for it in the gym and put on their little activewear set that they were also going to sell you, and went and worked out in the gym one time for you to see and think that that's how they built their bodies. But once it became accessible for regular people like you and I, it became not. Is this gonna work? My scanner is not working. I'm trying to scan in this book. But it became not so popular anymore to go get a BBL, because anybody can go to the DR, go to Mexico, go to Dr. Miami and go get one and put it on the payment plan or whatever the case is. It became oversaturated in a sense. So what's next is the question. What will we be? What is the next trend? I guess I haven't jumped on one per se. I mean, if we want to count being overweight or obese or fat as a trend, because it was seen as you having money, status, access, then whatever. But it wasn't a trend for me to hop on. Like, I literally have never been skinny per se. When I was a child, I still had a stomach. Like, I had thickness to me my whole life. I would say, I think the smallest I ever remember myself being was maybe at age 6 or 7. And that's just from looking at pictures. But growing up, I always had meat on my bones, whether it was seen as thick, fat, chubby, chunky, obese, whatever. So, with all of that being said, I say all of this to say, that wasn't a safe space for plus size people to be in. So to sit here and just count out, like, hold on, let me type this. But to sit here and just say, like, oh, she was just talking about loving herself, like, da 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 da. I mean, maybe, but you had to know what type of space you were creating. And if you cared, I mean, maybe she doesn't care. Like, maybe she don't care. And I'm not here to try to make her care about how she has potentially made other people feel with her statements. And then, like I said, she doubled back and she said it was a joke. She said it was a joke. So who am I to care? I do feel like if she did have, plus size followers and a plus size support system, she probably lost them. But then again, if I came across that video, I would say, oh wow, she's dense. She's an airhead. And this is another reason, and this is a side note, this is another reason why plus size people have been known to be super funny, super caring, super nurturing, to combat the fact that, hey, I know my size isn't the preference, so I have to be more than that. I have to be, and I like to think that I'm really funny, not like, ha ha ha, comedian, let me go do stand up, but like the quick witted comebacks, the sarcasm, all of that in my everyday conversations, like people be cracking a side, okay? So it's just like being fat kind of trained us to be more than just how we look, to have more, to have education, to have hobbies, to have goals, to have some type of hustle. I ain't gonna say I never seen a fat broke person or I never seen a fat unfunny person, because you have seen like some corny people. Every size has their cornballs and this, that, and the third. But I will say a lot of the plus size women that I know and I've seen, and even men, they have something going. Whether it's a business, whether it's a career, whether it's education, whether it's creating content, whether it's, no matter. If they're funny, you see a lot of people, the Drewskis, whether they're funny, whatever the case is, plus size people have to be more than just their size. And I will go further to say plus size women have to be more than just their size. Unless you just want to be a fetish. You have to know your worth, because it can be very, very easy to fall into the hands of somebody who just fetishizes you. And I feel like I've been there in a way, and it's not a fun place to be. But I do feel like ultimately my main point was we have to be more than our looks. Not to say we're ugly, not to say we're unkept, not anything like that. You have to be willing to take up space. You have to be willing to walk with your head high, because society will make you think that you have to have your head low and you have to look down because you are not worthy of love. You are not worthy of money. You are not worthy of status. You are not worthy of powerful positions. You are not worthy to be a part of the table or a part of the conversation because you are a couple sizes bigger than the next person. They will make you feel that way. And that's why I said, if I would have come across that video, I would have just said, oh, wow, what a cornball. What an airhead. I didn't even know this was the same woman. Once I did finally see the video, I didn't even know that was the same woman that I retweeted earlier this year. Because she was so well spoken. She was so well spoken in that video. I was like, yes, the black woman praise. This is what I like to see on my timeline. Then seeing that, it was like undue reposts. Like undue reposts. Because I did not feel that. I could not stand with you on that, sister. No, I'm taking my support back. And it might be too late. It is what it is. But I'm taking my support back. And that's kind of what you have to do. Not to say if you just don't agree with one thing somebody says to deplatform them. But if you are spewing or creating an atmosphere that is not respectful to people who are different from you, that's whether or not it's race. You don't have to believe in the same everything as everybody, but race, rights, size, like education, careers, like we should at least be able to respect people. If you can't do anything else, if you don't have to agree, but we should be able to respect. And I think ultimately that was just an atmosphere that wasn't respectful to bigger people. And although I hadn't seen the video, I just saw everybody reacting to the video. I just felt like, as a plus size person, if I was to go on my soapbox and say the same thing, just the opposite, the comments would have been pure hatred. So you see that you are privileged to be able to make a statement like that. You are privileged to be able to have people in your comments saying, this is how she feels. Everybody who's fat, shut the fuck up. Like, you are privileged to be able to have that, because we don't have that type of support. We can big each other up, right? We can go in the comments. If I was to say that, I know there will be some plus size people in the comments like, hell yeah, girl. You know what? Hell yeah. Like, yeah. I know there will be some people like that. But I know there will be 10 times, 100 times more hate than anything on that post. There will be so many doctors, so many keyboard doctors telling me what I have, what my health is looking like, and there would just be so much. But it's so interesting because the same people who spew the health rhetoric, it's like the same things y'all name for fat people, y'all really act like it's exclusive to fat people. Oh, my book's about to fall. These things are not exclusive to fat people. I have seen small people with high blood pressure. Small people die from heart attacks. Small people die from strokes. Small people with diabetes. Small people with cancer. Small people with PCOS. Like, these things that y'all put on fat people are not exclusive to being fat. Can fat or excess fat on your body or excess weight on your body do those things or cause those things or worsen those things? Some. Yes. It can worsen those things. It can bring on those things, if you didn't have diabetes, but once you gain a certain amount of weight, now you have diabetes. Yes. There are small people who don't eat as well as some fat people I know. There are small people who are not as active as some fat people I know. There are small people who pop pills There are small people who drink, do drugs, eat horribly, and people don't care because of how they look. And I can easily compare that to the amount of hatred that plus size people who get on this internet and eat doing mukbangs get in comparison to smaller people who y'all deem more attractive who get on here and do the same thing. People who have to show you their bodies to prove, hey, I'm not the fat that you think I am. You only see me from neck up, okay? I can eat whatever I want and I still look this good. Good. Like, because this is the preference. This is what y'all want. Y'all want a small face, kind of flat stomach, maybe a little bit more, and a fat ass. That's what y'all want. So y'all can get up here, or people can get up here and do certain things and it not be problematic or controversial because of their size. Now, let a fat person get up here and even do a mukbang eating a salad or a fruit spread. You're going to say, oh, well, that's a lot of sugar in that fruit. May not be the best for you. Oh, well, who eats a whole bag of salad? Wow. Look at you. You can't even. And I say that to go to a comment that was made. One of the people I follow here on TikTok, people drug her for like a good 2 weeks straight because of what she said she wasn't interested in, or who she said she wasn't interested in, or what her preference was when it came to partners. And those people got so offended. And I'm attracted to those people. They got so offended. Those people got so offended and started stuffing their shirts with pillows, breathing all hard, stuffing their mouths, and mimicking her because of what she said she wasn't attracted to, or what she didn't want, or who she didn't want. And I just thought it was like, oh wow, like fat people can't even have a preference. So fat people definitely couldn't get up here and just make blanket statements that are rooted in, dare I say it, skinny phobia? Like, what? Is that even a thing? Is that even a thing? I don't even know. Now, y'all know I couldn't like talk and type in all these books. I thought I would just be able to freaking scan them in. But I definitely wanted to have this conversation because I just felt like it was just like, if the shoe don't fit, keep on scrolling. But we know, like, you said that for attention, or I didn't get it as the joke, but we also knew you had the privilege to say that. And I just wanted to kind of, put my 2 cents in because I just felt like it. And because it was up for debate, it was definitely a topic of discussion. It got people pages removed, demonetized, like things like that. And I just was like, y'all doing a bit much because somebody doesn't feel the same way you feel. Or I don't like how certain platforms only allow people to talk to you crazy, but when you respond or you clap back, now they can report your comment. Your comment wasn't posted. Your video has been reported. Your page has been demonetized. Your page has been banned. I hate that shit. We have to have some type of moral high ground as creators, I guess, influencers, content creators, people who talk, commentators. We have to have, I guess, this pristine image, and people can talk to us any type of way. I got on social media. It's not Twitter anymore. Formerly known as Twitter. I got on X one day or the other day, and I posted, this girl said, "How my black women wearing their hair in a gym?" I quoted it. I said locks. And I posted a picture of me in my garage where my gym equipment is. And although it was a nice, it was like maybe like 3,000 likes, whatever. Nice little amount of feedback. Not feedback, but likes, traction. Nice little amount of traction. People in the comments immediately fetishizing you, big sexy motherfucker, big and beautiful, immediately. And then you had people like, "No, I see you in there, but I don't see you using none of the equipment. Post a picture of that." I quoted that, reported them. Of course, Twitter said, "We don't see nothing wrong." Reported them, quoted that with another picture in the gym and said, "I'm going to continue posting my pictures even though I'm not doing anything in the gym." But anywho, and that was fine. Also gained a nice amount of traction. And somebody commented and was like, they said something just real ugly, real nasty, kind of like, "You fat dumbass," or something like that. I don't really know. I reported it. Twitter said, "We found nothing wrong with this comment." There was no bullying, harassment, or anything. Let me have commented on somebody's shit. Let me. So it's just like, freedom of speech is one-sided. Like, if you're not a content creator, if you don't have a platform more than 1,000 or 10,000 people, you can say whatever you want. But if you do, you're monitored. Shut your mouth. You can't say anything. You have to only clap back respectfully. And I think that's bogus. Like, I think that is very, very bogus. But, yeah, that was my experience just the other day. So we have to say, like, people, we do not have the same privileges as other people, especially if you have, this is not the cover I want. Oh, what is this? Especially if your BMI is a certain number, even though we know BMIs are not even tailored to black women. But yeah, that's kind of all I wanted to say here. Just a little chit chat with y'all. I was trying to scan in my books. I literally only got like 5 out of maybe 50 done, but it's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and keep scanning them. Probably hop on the phone, chillax for the rest of the night. Finish categorizing these after I scan them in. Then I'll go ahead and put them on these shelves behind me. And I do have to put up my other bookshelves too. So yeah, I'm about to do that and just chill out for the rest of the night. But I did want to just, not even really make any points or state, like, I didn't have any idea where this video was gonna go, but I definitely wanted to say I peeped it. I peeped all of it, okay? And I have, I don't know, like I said, which channel this is gonna be on, but I do have a podcast ready for me to film. I have written it all out. done the synopsis, like the little AI, what do you call it, review of it. So I'm gonna post now. I'm gonna post my actual podcast, but then I'm also gonna post like these AI reviews because they offer a little more insight, and I think they'll be helpful. And I don't know if I'll have them actually on YouTube or just on like my podcast, like just listening, but I definitely want to post those. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this chit chat. Let me know if you saw the video from Slim Kim, and let me know if you saw the feedback and just the whole discourse about it, and kind of your thoughts on it. Like, how do you feel, or how did you feel? Let me pose an actual question. How, if you would have came across that video, if you didn't, how would you have felt if somebody just made a blanket statement saying, I love being skinny, I think about it all day, every day, it is my personality, and I would hate if I was any other way? How would that affect you? And are you on the this is a fat phobic ass video train, or are you on the this doesn't really affect me, but I do know that this is fat phobic? Or are you on the I'm in agreement, like she should be able to get up there and say whatever she wants to say on her platform, whether or not she's a dense airhead? Or are you all three? Or are you all three? Are you just like, look, freedom of speech, people can say whatever the hell they want to say, it doesn't affect me either way? So just let me know how you feel about it. I know I didn't really give y'all specific, really specific sides of the fence to be on, but yes, I hope y'all enjoyed this chit chat, and I can go on and on and on, but I will not bore y'all any longer.